reason why people do not trust the mainstream media anymore. As a matter of fact, guys like you is why I'm popular now. Interestingly enough, the mainstream media monster from which Louis came from is exactly what created the need for people like myself who are unapologetically fucking authentic. There's a reason why I live stream when I have the girls on and don't do fucking chopped up edited shit. Everything I do is live. 90% of the content I do is live. I barely pre-record videos. This deceptive editing is a microcosm of a much bigger problem. And that bigger problem is mainstream media, the gynosexual social order that we have, they don't give a fuck about men. He didn't document anything about how I help guys out. He didn't document all the guys that came up to me and said, yo, you saved my life. You want me to triple my income? He didn't put any of that in there. They couldn't get me. So what they had to do was they had to chop and screw this fucking documentary in all different types of ways to paint a narrative. In the documentary, it seems as though I told Andrew to leave because I didn't like her getting questioned. But in reality, his staff told her to leave because the dog was coughing that I was holding. And she comes back seconds later. But they removed all of that. They removed all of that. And again, normies aren't going to go ahead and bother with, researching and getting the truth or whatever. That's fine. We're not going to convert them anyway. They're always going to be fucking cucks and faggots. But for the people that have critical thinking skills, for the people that have three-digit IQs, that say, this is a little weird. I've seen clips of this Myron guy before. He's kind of on point. Let me check out what's going on here. And then they see this shit where they fucking cut it so badly. And shout out to my editor. He was the one that actually caught this, that they did this. I didn't even catch it, right? Or the full conversation here where I intellectually fucking destroyed this guy. I left him speechless many times during this conversation. We talked about homosexuality, why women shouldn't vote. We talked about the Jews. I talked about Adolf Hitler. I talked about how the Jews used the Holocaust to paint a certain narrative so they are always in a perpetual victim mind state. He had nothing to combat any of that. So it would make sense that he wouldn't put any of this in there. Makes perfect sense. And this deceptive editing, this mainstream bullshit is exactly why the mainstream is dying. He's perpetuating the very type of documentarian behaviors that have made the mainstream media fall off and no one trusts them anymore.